Greetings, everyone. It is your host, Apache the Powerful. And today we are going to talk about spiritual healing from toxic relationships. Greetings, everybody. So, is everyone excited for this show? I'm really excited. I'm excited to be here. It's a little gloomy today, but and I just started my period, but that is a-okay because I feel good. I'm very relaxed. I am sipping on some Cabernet Sauvignon, and I hope that everyone out there watching feels amazing as I do. Today's topic is very, very touchy to me. It is a topic that I'm sure that everyone can relate to. Relationships. Whether it be your friends, your lovers, your family, associates, we all have relationships. We can't exist in this world without interacting with others. We can't be, no man is an island. Is that what they say? So right now, I'm going to share some information with you all. Bear with me for 1 second as I adjust my screen. This is my first time doing my show by myself, and I just want to give some special recognition to Jonathan Steele, Mr. RPJ. Thank you so much for pushing and motivating me to do this chat. I want to give a shout out to my family who I've learned from. My best friend, Miata. I know she's watching me, those guys. And shout out to anybody who supports positivity and the upliftment race. My show is not just for African Americans. It's not just for Blacks. It's not just for females. You know, I think that the overall goal of the show is to be universal. Everyone out here in the world is connected through vibration and frequency. No matter how much we want to deny it and how much we want to be alone, we are all connected. And I think that the more that we learn to deal with the human race, the happier we will be. Let's try to save the world. If we save ourselves, we can save the world. And that's where I am today. I've been in a state of bliss all day long. And right now I have my candles burning, the incense burning, and I feel great. I'm going to come and show my face in a little while, but I just wanted to set the tone first. If you guys were listening to the song that I was playing earlier, it's actually me. Yes, I do sing. And I thought it would be such a great idea to feature one of my favorite songs that I've ever recorded on my show because I own the copyrights to it. The song I chose is speaking about a woman who is in a relationship with a man who doesn't trust her. And she just wants to show him that she loves him and she's loyal to him. And she wants to spend her life with him. And she wants him to just love her. So there's not a lot of words in the song, but the feeling and the energy behind it is what I believe that everyone can identify with. And I thought that that would be a perfect song for today's topic. So I hope that you all enjoy my new theme music for my show. And I do own the copyrights for it. So if you try to steal it, I will sue you because I don't play that shit. So, hello everybody, I'm here. I just wanted to share that portion with you and get the good stuff out the way, get the introduction out the way. How do you all like today's beat? Have a little contour going on, a little 3D satin lip going on, as you can see. And I have some studs under my eyes, some crystals, and of course, accessories. There's someone that always asks me about my accessories that comes in the chat room. I forgot who it was, but let me show. These are for her. I'm showing her my accessories today. And I have a crescent, moon, and star rose gold ring that I always wear to remind me of my Islamic background. Rose gold is really in right now. So I can be a little trendy at times. Hold on, folks. I will be right back. All right, peeps. I'm back. I forgot my nose ring. And I'm so OCD, I had to go. So, hi to Damien Dane. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you being here, and I hope that you find any of the information that we're going to talk about helpful. Trying to see. Thank you, RPJ, for being my wonderful moderator. And let's get to it, because I've been ready to talk about this subject for a while. I am not always the most candid person. Sometimes I could be very shy, and I like to maintain a certain level of privacy when it comes to relationships, because I don't believe that one should put their business out there and tell the whole world about their relationship, because it takes away from the sacred nature of it. I'm going to start off with a little bit of facts about frequency. And I don't know, you guys probably don't know this about me, but I am very into science. And I love to study the metaphysical realm, which is like spirit and science together, and chemistry and quantum physics all wrapped up in one. And the way that I look at human beings is like a science project. We are all composed of protons, neutrons, and electrons, which means that there are tiny little things vibrating inside of us constantly. So I wanted to share some facts on some research that I've done. And I wanted to share with you guys, everything in nature has a vibration. Everything. Trees, animals, people, even rocks have a vibration. Everything that is matter and is tangible and even intangible has a vibration. The human body, when functioning at a healthy frequency, vibrates between 62 and 80 megahertz. I'll say that again. The human body, when it is vibrating at a healthy rate, vibrates between 62 and 80 megahertz, which is pretty high if you want to think about it. Megahertz are the measurement of the electromagnetic vibration in the body. So, where was I? When your body reaches a very low frequency, you start to develop disease. Colds, flu, and disease begin to develop in the body between 57 and 60 megahertz. So the lower your vibration, the sicker you become. And at 25 megahertz, that's when death becomes present in the body. So now that we have this kind of understanding of megahertz and electromagnetic frequencies and all that, hold on one second. Okay, peeps, I'm back. Now that we have this understanding of electromagnetic frequency in the human body, I want to make it all make sense to everyone, because sometimes I can get a little bit esoteric and a little bit nerdy. I am a nerd. I'm a proud nerd. Let me just start off by saying that. All the pretty nerds, what's up? We in the house tonight. But I say all that to say that if the body drops in frequency, we're going to get sick. Think about it. We get all these aches and pains, or when the seasons change and the weather changes, we start feeling really down and we start getting sick and runny noses and cold, and the body aches and muscle aches and pains. Why do you think those things happen? Because of low frequency. But did you know that people can also cause low frequency? They're called, say it with me, folks, energy vampires. Yes, I'm sure we have all heard of energy vampires. They drain you of your life force. They make you feel really down. They are usually the people that are secret haters. So, recognizing toxic people. How do these people make you feel? Now, we're talking about the person in hand, the relationship person. We're going to talk about them. Think about it. When you're around this person, how do they make you feel? Do they make you feel happy? Do they make you feel drained? Do they make you feel depressed? Do they make you feel angry? Or do you feel peace and comfort and warmth and joy and pleasure and sensuality? Do they make you feel high vibrational? Or do they make you feel low vibrational? What types about with this person? Are they talking about what happened on the streets of DC? Are they talking about guess who owes who money? Are they talking about someone who got their new car, their new Mercedes? Are they gossiping? Or are they telling you uplifting things? Hey girl, what are you doing today? You want to go climb a mountain? You want to go work out? Oh, you know that the homeless volunteers, you want to go do that? Or, oh, I'm so happy that you got this new job. I'm so proud of you. What are your next steps? What is your 5-year plan? What do you plan on doing with your life for the next 5 years? Are they talking about this? Or are they just talking about bullshit? Because there are a lot of people that talk about bullshit, and you wonder why you can never go anywhere with those types of people. So that's also something to think about. What is the content of the conversations that you're having with this person? The next thing is, how well do you manifest when dealing with this person? You know, this is very personal for me. And like I said, I view everybody like a science project. I think about when I tell my friends or these toxic people or energy vampires, when I tell them my plans of doing stuff, I'll always check for their energy. And when I was younger, I was more ready to just volunteer information and just tell everybody what I was working on, what I was doing, who I was dating, something new that I bought, and a trip that I was planning to go on. And there would be times that I would notice that the things that I wanted to do would not manifest. And I was doing everything that I could do right on my end, so I was kind of confused. And I try to live a very karmically balanced life. So I try to put good out and constantly receive positive and good in return. So I was just trying to figure out, like, why aren't things manifesting the way I'm supposed to? And then I thought about the people who I told all my happiness and shared my secrets and shared my plans with. And I have a very small circle, so it wasn't like I was blabbing to everyone. I don't put a lot of my business on social media. And so I was thinking, I got a good 4 or 5 good friends that I talk to on a regular basis. Maybe they're jealous. Maybe somebody could be a hater, you know? I remember when I was younger, I was supposed to go on a trip. I forgot where I was going, probably like Vegas or L.A. or somewhere like that. And I remember telling one of my friends, and I noticed that her reaction was always so negative. And she's like, what you gonna do there? Who you gonna be with? Oh, you got enough money to go on that trip? You know, LA is expensive. And it's just like, bitch, why can't you be happy for me? Why would you ask me questions as if you're trying to set me up to fail? And I'm sure that all of you guys can relate to that experience of someone just being on some bullshit. Like, as a friend and as an associate and even a family member, you want those people to be happy for you. You want them to feel the same feelings and the same excitement about you succeeding and excelling in your life. But everybody's not going to feel that way. Everybody is not going to be happy for you. Everybody, blood or friendship or associates, everybody is not going to feel the same way about you as you feel about yourself. And the more that I've noticed the negative talk and the negative thinking, and the more spiritual I became, I started feeling the person's vibes. Even when I would post photos, if I was on a trip somewhere or I was eating at a nice restaurant or just a happy post about me being in love, that one friend will pop up and be like, girl, guess what such and such did? Or, girl, why this motherfucker XYZ and we supposed to be in a relationship and he out here just always bringing me negative news. And I'm just like, don't you see I'm on cloud 9? I don't want to hear that right now. I'm not trying to hear. Keep that negative talk and that negative shit over there. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody. So I cut her off. And when I cut her off, she was not pleased. I mean, it took a while to work this girl out of my system. I had to do a lot of things, which I'm going to actually share with you guys as I go further along, because I have everything written down. Like I said, I'm very studious, I'm a nerd. But let's see. The next one is what I want you guys to do. You have, how do they make you feel? What kind of stuff do they talk about? They talk about negative or positive things. And how well do you manifest? The next thing that I want you all to do when thinking about this toxic energy vampire, I want you guys to weigh the pros and the cons of the relationship. What are the things that are good about this person? Why are you friends with them? How did you all meet? What is the premise of the relationship? Is it a we met at a club and we just go to the club together and we party all the time? Or did you meet at a charity event for a local YMCA? Did you meet while you were doing something of a service to the community? Or did you meet where the energy and the frequency is not that high? So also think about, what do they bring to the table? Do they bring opportunities to the table? Are they well connected to people? Do they do good works in the community? Do they make you feel good? Weigh the pros and the cons. Or are they always asking you for money, asking you for rides, borrowing your clothes and never giving them back, or ruining them and getting makeup on them and stretching them out? Are they those people that you talk to them and then the next thing you know, your business is all over the street? Is it pros and cons? And do the cons outweigh the pros, or vice versa? That is one of the number one things to figure out if the person is toxic. In fact, you can even forget all the other things and just go with that. So I'm going to take a quick break because I see that the chat is popping right now. So I'm going to look at the chat really quickly and read some of you all's comments. Let's see who's in here. Get ready for my shout outs. Leroy Jetson. It's like a futuristic country name, Leroy Jetson. Who else is here? Exotic is turning up in the chat room, I see. You have very little feelings to begin with. Yes, Leroy, surround yourself with positive people. But you know, sometimes people can disguise themselves as positive people and have hidden agendas. Leroy, what are you talking about? You let that fool sit on your show and talk about children because people are jealous. What is that about? I'm not sure, but we're going to move forward. Jonathan Steele, he says, do you think that sometimes we sabotage ourselves? Yes, we do. We do. And that it comes from not feeling like we're deserving, not forgiving ourselves from past relationships, not healing properly, not being willing to look ourselves in the mirror and see the areas in which we fall short, and accepting that and saying it's okay, and consciously and proactively working on those things. I know that I've sabotaged myself. I've become, closed off and literally attract guys and attract friends that I know are toxic. So yes, RPJ, you're absolutely right. We do sabotage our time. And yes, it is hard leaving people behind, and it does take great maturity. And I'm going to discuss that. That's actually my next point. The thing that I want to stress the most before we get into that is to forgive yourself for all of the relationships that have caused you harm, for all of the relationships that have broken your heart, for all of the people who have fucked you over and that you allowed and given second and third chances. Forgive yourself. It's okay. We are all human beings. We all make mistakes. We all get damaged and broken, and we all feel low at times. We all allow ourselves to be vulnerable and then get hurt time and time again. We all have allowed other people to use us. But folks, and what I want you to understand is, this is all a part of the human experience. We are put here as a test, and we have to go through life learning these lessons and overcoming them and becoming better. It's always about ascending to the next level, not descending. If we keep allowing the same things to fuck us over time and time again, we're going to descend. But if we say, hey, I recognize that this person used me for sex. I recognize that this person used me because I was popping in the streets and I had money and I was a doughboy. I recognize that this person was also a broken person, and we attracted each other, and chaos and heartbreak and pain and love and hate and fighting, all these things occurred as a part of the human experience. So look yourself in the mirror and say, self, I forgive you. I forgive myself for all of the pain, all of the trauma, all of the negative think, all of the vulnerability to people who I shouldn't have been vulnerable with. I forgive myself. That is the first thing that you should do. Because once you acknowledge the issue, it will be safe for you to move forward. So, the next thing we're going to talk about is, let me turn the page here, correcting residual energy left from a toxic person. There are many ways to correct the energy left from a toxic person. One of them is meditation, which is yoga, sitting in silence, going outside and grounding yourself in nature, listening to corrective music. There's a lot of music on YouTube that has corrective frequencies, and it's megahertz, and it helps to send out positive vibes to clear your energetic field and to heal your energetic field. If you look up chakra balancing meditation, they're like hour videos that you can just literally sit in silence and not even, you can even be going to sleep and just let it play until you fall asleep. I know when I was in my early 20s, I would always listen to that type of music. Sorry guys, I'm getting a text. Physical exercise is also another way to clear the residual energy left from a toxic person. We all have, from time to time, we get a buildup of negative energy on us, or even just anxiety, or it doesn't even have to be negative energy. Sometimes we just get pent up energy in us. And a lot of us, we don't know how to creatively express that. Exercising is a great way to get rid of negative energy. It helps us to move the body, get the blood flowing, get our ions and electrons and protons pumping and vibrating, get that heart rate pumping and sweating. It's like a great form of transformation, because you're sweating, your body's changing, your muscles are flexing. And usually after people work out, they feel either really calm or their vibration is really high and they feel really energetic and they want to do stuff with their day. So that brings me to the next point, which is detox. And as within, so without. When you look inside and work on your health and work on proper eating, you're eliminating parasites. You're eliminating worms and fat and just all the bullshit that goes into our system on a day-to-day basis. It is important to eat healthy foods, drink healthy beverages, eat healthy meats, and try to focus on putting foods in our body that are going to raise our vibration. Theory, and it is a color theory, where they say that if you eat certain foods of the rainbow, you can actually balance certain chakras. So for instance, blueberries, blackberries, and sometimes, blueberries and blackberries, they help with the throat chakra and the third eye chakra. Pineapple, mango, and other yellow fruits help to balance the sacral and the solar plexus chakra. And when you even certain like watermelon is so good for you. It keeps you hydrated, excuse me. I love beets. Beets are like a purplish red color. I feel like my frequency is so high when I eat beets, and I always have really healthy bowel movements after. And that's a part of the purge and the detox, you know. And I hope that I don't offend anybody by talking about detoxification and period movements, but that's what my show is for. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I'm not going to apologize, because these are things that we are taught not to talk about and things that are supposed to be swept under the rug. But we need to talk about these things. When you go to the bathroom, you are detoxing your body. You are removing negative waste. So the healthier you eat, the more negative waste that you're going to remove from your body. Is another form of detoxification is detoxing from music. A lot of the music that we listen to now is fucking trash. Like, a lot of it talks about violence, having meaningless sex, robbing, killing, selling drugs, just a bunch of fuckery. Just a bunch of fuckery. We don't need to listen to that stuff when we're trying to detoxify ourselves from people and bad behavior. Think about it. When you go to the club, you listen and you get ready and you get turned up. You listen to a certain kind of music. You listen to music that gets you in a certain mindset. And then you're around those toxic people when you listen to that kind of music. So when you listen to it again after you cut that person off, it brings you back into that same frequency as if when you were with them. There are certain songs now, and I'm sure you guys in the chat can relate, to listen to with past lovers, that when I hear it now, I can't stand it. It just irritates the shit out of me. Like, I cannot listen to certain music because it makes me think about the person. It makes me want to pick up my phone and call them. And it's just all bad. It's just all bad. Let's see. What else can we do? Changing negative talk, negative thoughts is also very, very important. Sometimes when we talk to a certain toxic person day after day after day after day, we start to pick up on their language. And when we pick up on their language, even when they're not around, we start to talk like them and think like them. We can have self-sabotaging thoughts, and we think negatively about everything. Has that ever happened to someone? In like, you just talking and you're like, damn, that's not something that I would say. That's something that my friends say. How did I pick up this slang? How did I pick up that type of behavior? I wasn't like that before I met that person. Like, what is going on? It is important to detox, and that's very difficult. That's probably one of the most difficult things to detox from. Talking negatively, speaking negative things into existence. As a man thinketh, so is he. If he thinks negative thoughts about himself and about the world, he's going to manifest that for himself. So try to avoid speaking negative thoughts, even about the person in question that is toxic. You do not want to talk about them. And I know that sounds crazy, but you don't. You don't want to slander the person. You don't want to continuously talk shit about the person, because all it does is bring you down. It doesn't help you. It doesn't make you feel better. And it makes you just as low as the person that you're trying to not be like and trying to get away from. Let's check on the chat really quick. Hold on, guys. All right, folks, I'm back. My chat was giving me some problems, so I had to go back and look, make sure everything was okay. I have to say, it is really weird. Just I feel like I'm talking to myself. It feels really, really strange just talking and talking and talking. I usually don't talk this much, so it's very weird for me to just be talking in the chat like this. So the last but not least, a way to correct the residual leftover gray smog that ends up in your aura from dealing with a toxic person is work. Work. It's all about work. What are you passionate about? What is something that you love doing that just takes you to your happy place? And we're not talking about eating. We're not talking about fucking and having sex. We're not talking about going to the club and getting drunk. What is something that is productive that you love to do that you're good at? Do that. Throw yourself into your work. Anytime I get out of a relationship, I always start to focus on work, 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 work. Work, 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 work. See me do me da 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 da. But I focus on work. So right now and this is completely has nothing to do with a bad relationship, but right now I am really focusing on my makeup. I'm so passionate about makeup. I want to focus on new business cards, new t-shirts, new branding, new website, all of these things. I don't have time to think about anybody else. I mean, I think about you all and how I can help you all because I'm very passionate about YouTube. I'm discovering and learning to love giving my message to everybody. I'm becoming more comfortable, and this is something that I also put a lot of thought and energy into. So find out what you're passionate about and just do it. Whether it be journaling, you can turn your hurt and your pain and your frustration and anger, write it all down. Turn it into a book. That's the best way to do it. Everybody, if you listen to songs and even with the whole Beyonce Lemonade thing, I don't know if that's real what she wrote about, but she turned it into music. Use your feelings and your passions and turn it into something that is profitable and fulfilling for you. Don't sit around and mope and just be wallowing in nothingness and wasting away. It doesn't serve us to do that. It doesn't. You will feel so much better, and you start to forget about those people who did you wrong because you're so focused on your own personal success. We have a question in the chat. It says, what can I do to change my mindset of the type of woman I always pick? I think that it is important to look within yourself and look and take an objective look, an objective perspective. What is it? What are the negative aspects about yourself? Why is it that, and also look at the people that you dated, look at the women that you're friends with. What do they have in common? That's the best way. What negative attributes and positive attributes do they have in common? How do you ignite those negative attributes in the other person? You have to first, in order to change the world, you have to change yourself. So you have to take an objective look in the mirror, see the things that you don't like about yourself, seeing what negative things you bring out of other people and what you do that brings those negative attributes out, and totally work on it, wipe it out, get rid of it. And yes, it is the ego. A lot of us don't want to look in the mirror and say, I have a problem with being cocky. I have a problem with thinking that I'm better than everybody else. I have a problem with thinking I'm smarter than anybody else. I have a problem with being a womanizer. I have a problem feeling like I am the most successful person in my family and neglecting my family and not keeping good relationships with my family because I think that I'm better than them. These are all things that you have to deal with. And if you're not willing, and I mentioned this in my last hangout, if you're not willing to sacrifice the ego, then you're definitely going to perish forever. You're going to perish. If you don't want to say, I have a problem with this. I have a problem with being closed off and not trusting men. So I always attract men that aren't trustworthy. I have a problem with using men for only one thing. I have a problem with giving in too soon and not seeing what they have to offer. When did I become so aware of such spirituality? Life. And I never claimed to be better than anyone else. I never claimed to be this grand magician that can just make money fall out of the sky. I've never done any of that, although I do think that I am powerful. I think that all of us can be powerful. I think that in life, you have to look at yourself sometimes from a third person and realize the mistakes that you make along the way, because we can't keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. You have to like jot down notes as you go along. There's some funny stuff going on. I know when I watch this video back, I'm going to be like, what was I laughing at? I ruined hope for you? Oh, God. How so? I'm telling you, if that ego is too big, you're not going to get anywhere. You got to look in the mirror and say, I'm an asshole. I treat women like shit. I don't trust women because I don't trust myself. I don't trust men because I don't trust myself. I have whole tendencies that I need to work on. I am a user, and it is not okay. You have to think about these things and just, it's just you. It's just you in the mirror. Nobody else is around. If you can't be real with yourself, who can you be real with? You know, like, don't front. Do not front on yourself. You will do yourself a great disservice if you front on yourself. I'm telling you. Be transparent as possible and be as gentle as possible when dealing with yourself. So, moving forward, how to discipline oneself to stay the course of healing. This is very important to me because a lot of times, and I've had boyfriends where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to talk to them anymore, fuck them. And then I'll block them out for a couple of days, and then I'll see their Instagram, or I'll see their Snapchat, or I'm looking through my camera roll in my phone, and I see a picture of us together, and I'm just like, damn, I should call them. And a lot of the times, my thoughts are so powerful that a lot of the times I can manifest things when I think about them. And it's not just when it comes to relationships, it's anything. So if I think about a guy, they might call me. Every part of me wants to be like, hey, babe, what are you doing? I miss you. Come see me. I want to cook you dinner tonight. But you have to be disciplined because that person is no good for you. And even though I say boyfriend, this can be interchangeable. This can, like I said, this can be a family member. This could be a friend. This could be anybody. This could be a coworker. This could be anybody that's toxic. This is for anybody that is toxic in your life. So being disciplined means remove yourself from them completely. Don't go where they go. Don't go to the same gym. Don't go to the same grocery store. Just none of that. Don't social media. Don't follow them anymore. Don't even follow the people that they follow because you don't want them to end up on your feet. Like, this is real shit that I'm telling you. This is 2016 real shit for young adults. Do not follow these people on social media just to be nosy and see what they're doing. Why? It's just going to make you more upset. I don't want to see someone that I'm not dealing with. I don't give a fuck about them. Honestly, after I stop dealing with a person, they're pretty much dead to me. I don't give a damn about your life at that point. I'm going to keep following you and looking and like, oh, I see he got a new boo. She don't look better than me. Oh, I see he got a new car. Oh, he got a new job, but he couldn't get a job when he was with me, but now he want to have a job. I've heard women say things like this. This is not the way to go. It's going to bring your vibration down. And remember what we said. When you have a low frequency and a low vibration, disease starts to spread in the body. So another way to stay disciplined is block their numbers from your phone. Don't let them call you. Do not let them call you. Don't give them any access. And when you cut them off, let them know that you're cutting them off. It is not for respect for the other person. It's for respect for yourself. If you don't want to deal with the person anymore, say, I'm cutting you off. And the reason why I'm cutting you off is because I think that you're verbally abusive. I don't think that you want the best for me. And I just don't feel like we can grow and be in a better situation than what we are right now years from now. It is not up for negotiation. It's not up for debate. And I'm going to separate myself from you now. And I would appreciate if you respect the fact that I want to move on. We have to be mature with this. We can't be ghetto and rash about this and be fighting and yelling and arguing. This isn't going to get us anywhere. Sorry, guys. I'm like looking in the chat. It doesn't get us anywhere to argue. It makes us feel bad. You know, when I was a teenager, I was in love. Every goddamn second I turned around, I was in love. But it didn't serve me to break up, make up, break up, make up. You have to be done when you're done. You will thank yourself in the long run. The moment when I started trusting myself to break up with people and really be done with them, I started looking back and being like, damn, I'm so glad they did that. Then they got locked up. Oh, man. Excuse me. Oh, man, I dodged a bullet. Oh, man, somebody got murdered. Oh, my gosh. Oh, I'm so happy I wasn't involved in that. Oh, no, they owe somebody money and the person is looking for them. I'm glad that I don't have any ties with them anymore because I don't even want to have people coming up in my house looking for someone else. So you have to really be done with them. Completely cut any communication. Don't talk to them. Try not to think about them. Block them from social media and even their family members. If you're friends with the family members of the person that you're trying to get rid of, I hate to tell you, but you have to remove yourself from those people too. You got to get rid of them. When I'm friends with someone or I'm in a relationship with someone and I'm cool with their family members, I cut them off too. Because I don't want to hear you telling me about how John just won the lottery. I don't want to hear that. Then I'm going to start thinking, oh, what could have been? We could have been so happy together. Because that's not true. That's false. Because remember, the person was an energy vampire to begin with. So no, that's not going to work. I don't want you to tell me about if they're doing well or if they're doing bad. I don't want to hear about it either way. I would just rather not think about the person to just push them further out of my system. And also, if you have children, like say you want to cut off like a baby mother or a baby father, that's a little bit more complicated. And I can't really get into that because I don't have children. So I can't really relate to how to cut a person's family off when you have children with them. That can be very tricky. And so those of you who are going through situations like that, my heart goes out to you, man. I wish you well. And I am so thankful that I am not you right now. No shade. I'm so thankful I'm not you when it comes to that. Let's see. Oh, yes, this is also very important. Get rid of all the belongings and all of the things that remind you of the person. The last time I was in a relationship that was toxic, I got rid of everything. I got rid of their pictures. I got rid of their body wash. I got rid of their clothes. I got rid of everything they bought me. Now, I'm not going to get rid of jewelry. I will pawn it. But I got rid of it. I didn't just throw it in the trash. I will pawn some jewelry now. I've definitely done it before in the past with engagement rings. So yeah, get rid of anything that reminds you of them. Don't keep anything in your home that has their vibration on it. If you guys share the bed together, get rid of the bed. If you can't afford to get a new bed, sage the bed. Put prayers and blessings on the bed. Wash the sheets. Get rid of the sheets, honestly. I mean, damn, buy some new sheets. Because no. Do a prayer and a ritual over the bed so that you don't have to think about that person every time you lay down. Get rid of any type of spiritual and energetic resonance of that person from your environment. So when I get rid of someone from my life, and if they've been in my home, what I like to do is I like to do a full cleansing. I start off with lighting candles, and I put on soothing music, and I say a prayer, and I ask for the angels, and I ask for God, and I ask for the ancestors to be with me and help me to remove the negative spirits and the negative energy from my home. Then I proceed to vacuum everything, change the sheets, put light charcoal, and sometimes I put in frankincense, sometimes I put in sage, sometimes I put in Palo Santo, sometimes I put in sweetgrass, all of these things into a charcoal burner. And I go in and I smoke my whole house. I smoke my whole house. I sweep and vacuum my house. And then I open up all the windows and I let the smoke just clear out. I close the vents and the air conditioning, and I let all of the negative energy just leave out. And when I'm doing this, I want to visualize when the smoke is leaving out, I want to visualize all of the negative energy leaving out as well. And usually when you do a spiritual house cleansing, you want to make sure that you take a spiritual bath. And that brings me to my next point. Spiritual bathing. This pertains to those people who you have direct contact with. People that touch you, people that are intimate with you. This is very, very critical information. Spiritual cleansing in the bath is very important for men and women. I don't really even talk to men that don't take baths. I'm real funny about that. Because if you're only standing up, you're not really getting everything. And I just really need you to sit in that water and let the water and the soap and the sea salt get all up in there. Like, I need you to, look, I'm OCD. I have an issue with this. I'm spiritually OCD, okay? Very. So the best time to take a spiritual bath and do a spiritual house cleansing is during the dark moon, during the new moon, and during the waning moon. When the moon is waning, that means that it is getting smaller. When the moon is dark, that means that you can't see it in the sky. And the new moon sets the tone for the beginning of the rest of your life. So it's very important to really focus on these times. And people don't really understand like the moon energy and all that, but there's energy that comes off of the moon that directly affects the human body. And when you do this spiritual bathing, you want to make sure that energy is right, because it can really just go bad. When I first started in my spiritual practices, I was doing stuff all wrong. I wasn't researching properly, and it was really messing me up. It was fucking me up. So I started to really delve deep into the spiritual and occult realm and realized, oh, that's why that backfired on me, because I wasn't doing it during the proper time. So yes, those are the 3 moon cycles that you want to do spiritual baths. Now, when you do your spiritual bath, I usually submerge myself completely. Is there? Oh, people in the chat, hello. Zikos, hello. How are you? No, I'm not part English, darling. I just really like to use the accent because I'm really good at it. I'm going to get to these Zikos. Prayers and rituals do mix. They do mix. If you focus on the ultimate, infinite, and divine creator, your personal God, it does mix. I've seen, first of all, praying is a ritual. So that kind of just obliterates your argument right there. A prayer is a ritual. When people have birthday parties, and they say, make a wish. A wish is a prayer. When you say, please God, don't let me, and then you do something following that, that's a ritual. So prayers and rituals are actually synonymous. When you're speaking and you want something to manifest, that is a ritual. Prayer itself is actually a ritual. So let's see. Save rituals for your idols. I don't know what idols he's talking about. But let's look at some other questions. Does ancestry help in your spiritual maturity? Let's see. I wish I could find someone to have a spiritual bath with. That's very important. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that in the chat. Spiritual bathing, when entering into a new relationship, it's always important to have a spiritual bath with that person. Usually you want to do things that welcome in new love. So geranium, rose, jasmine, lang lang, patchouli. Of course, you want to have sea salt in your water. Yarrow, frankincense, if you want to have that holy, godly anointing. Myrrh, of course, that goes with frankincense. There's a lot of other herbs and essential oils that you can use when doing spiritual baths. But it is important to do a spiritual bath when you are starting a new relationship because it helps to build the bond. And it also helps to remove any other excess residue from other people that they have been with in the past. But you have to be conscious of it. Both of you have to be conscious of it. So let me go back to what I was saying about spiritual bathing. When I get in the tub personally and I want to cut ties, I try to light white candles around the bath, either half light and half dark. And then I put sea salt in my bath. I use spearmint, eucalyptus, cypress, lavender, sage, citronella, and like I said earlier, geranium. I don't mix all these oils together because it's too many planetary shifts and all this kind of weird stuff going on. So I try to just use like 3 or 7 or just one, even one. Like you can use lavender only. Lavender and sea salt and just light the candles around the bath. Before you get in the bath, you want to say a prayer. And you say, whoever it is that you pray to, you want to ask them to help cut any cords from any unhealthy, unwanted, and malefic energy. And then when you get in, you want to completely submerge yourself at first. And that is it resonates with being reborn, being in your mother's womb and coming back out anew. And after you come out, you really want to visualize yourself, and you want to close your eyes and visualize a white light around you. And in that white light, there are those great areas all around your chakra and around your auric field. You want to imagine white light coming and filling all of those areas. I don't know how many of you all are familiar with chakras, and I hope that my audience can resonate with the things that I'm saying. And if you can't, do your research, because I can't explain it from step one. I'm not here to do that. But you want to imagine that white light clearing your energetic field. And it's so crazy because after I do these spiritual baths, I know that they work because a person will randomly text me and be like, "You okay?" And yes, I'm okay. I just did a spiritual bath to get rid of you. Now you can go away. Like, yes, I'm fine. But they usually pop up and they're like, "You okay? I was just wondering if you're good." I never respond. That's just a test. That's a test to see if it worked. Never respond. Keep it moving. But when you're in that bath, if you need to cry, if you need to scream, if you need to say how much you hate that person, do it then. Wash the body, scrub the body, And make sure that you actually feel clean. Make sure that your energy feels clean. And when the bath is over, I usually stay in for about an hour, hour and a half. When it's over, stay in the bath and watch the water run out into the drain. Once you do that, you are imagining all of that negativity that was on you, all that dirty, nasty energy going down into that drain, out into the universe and being transmuted into something else. And you're done with it. Of course, you want to take like a regular shower after, but you're done with it after that. So let it all go. Spiritual baths are very, very, I bathe so much. My friends are like, damn, you always in the bath. Every time I call you, you taking a damn bath. I'm like, look, I like to keep my aura clean. I got a lot of haters out there, and I'm sure that some of you watching know exactly what I'm talking about. I have a lot of haters, so I have to make sure that I keep myself protected, grounded, and clean at all times. So right now, I'm going to take a couple of questions. I see that there is a heated discussion going on in the chat room. What if my new girlfriend isn't as spiritual as I am, and after a while she starts being negative? I don't want to break up with her because she is spiritual, so what should I do? Well, first of all, as a man, you should teach her. Teach her. Men are natural leaders and women are natural creatives. Feed off of her energy, vibe with her, see what her strong points are. When you locate someone's strong points, you can that's your way into teaching them. If we gauge how smart they are, really, I wouldn't really get into bed with someone that's not spiritual. I wouldn't recommend that. But if she has an openness and a willingness to learn, teach your woman, empower her. And that goes for women too. I've dealt with guys who are spiritual, but not as spiritual as I am, and I teach them. And then I can't get rid of them after that because they're like super enamored, but that's neither here nor there. Teach your spouse. If you care for them and you want to see them grow, teach them what you know. Teach them the things that will make them better. Teach them how to deal with their spirits. Help them. And if it doesn't work, just give the shit up and follow these steps to getting rid of them. Is there any other questions in the chat? Let's see. Oh, Blonde Nameless is in the chat. Hello. And kissy to you. Let's see. Is hate a form of love? Absolutely. Absolutely. Hate is a form of love. We have to look at everything on a frequency chart, you know. And I think I said this in one of my Snapchat videos. When you hate someone, you still give them a certain amount of energy, because usually when a person hates another person, they're actively hating them. They're looking on their pages, they're talking about them to their friends, they're sabotaging them. Just all kind of wild shit, plotting on them. I know I got a lot of people plotting on me right now. Y'all can keep plotting, because guess what? The more energy you invest into someone, it's like devotion. People that constantly have something bad to say about you and constantly want to sabotage you, they're still giving you energy. You just have to be smart enough to transmute the energy and turn it into something positive. When I first got onto this platform, people expected me to be ratchet. People expected me to be nasty and disrespectful and throw certain people under the bus. But I don't come with that energy. I come with an energy of truth and honesty and justice and fairness. And I don't want to be in that type of energy. I don't want to lower myself and be going head to head with people about foolishness. I don't want to hate anybody. I don't. Even the people that attacked me. I had someone in a chat room earlier today call me a whore and a prostitute. First of all, you don't know me. Second of all, I do not care what you have to say. Third, you're not going to take me off the course. We were in a chat room talking about herbalism and healing. Why would you come in here talking about I'm a prostitute and all this other stuff, and we're trying to empower and uplift other people? Why would you even give me that much of your energy? It makes you look bad. It makes you look bad. If you don't care about a person and you don't fuck with them, you don't waste your time talking about them over and over and over again. Because the more hate that you give into a person, that's a form of worship. And then that person then becomes your God. You have to check on them every day to see what they're doing. That's like praying every day. That's like Muslims praying 5 times a day. You got to talk about them to every person that you see. That's like a religious zealot spreading the word of Jesus Christ. Like, why would you even waste all of that time on a person that you don't care about? Why attack people constantly if you don't care about them? You could take that same amount of energy and do something that's going to get you some money. Because clearly, if you're wasting that much time talking shit, you ain't getting no money. Because you be focused on other things, like how I'm focusing on other things right now. See Blue Owl. Hey, she's one of my favorite people. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for supporting. Do I get my hair wet when I take a spiritual bath? Yes, girl. I do, girl. Or guy. I don't know. But yes, I do get my hair wet. And I have natural hair. I do wear hair weaves. And I have natural hair. And I do get my hair wet. I know that sounds crazy. I don't always get my hair wet. But when it's a serious cleansing that I need to do, I do get my whole head wet. So, yes. Hold on, guys. I have to hook up my computer because it's dying. I'll be right back. Okay, my computer is hooked up. Let me adjust the lighting on this bad boy. There we go. Yay. So right now I'm open to taking questions from you guys. I've been trying to keep up in the chat, but it's a little difficult because I'm like reading from notes and trying to look at the chat room at the same time. I think I'm around 200 megahertz right now. I must not be human, right? Have you guys ever seen the movie Lucy? That movie is all about energy and mental stamina and discipline. I really love that movie. A lot of illuminated beings and Satanists like that movie as well. It's like one of their favorites. But that's one of my favorite movies because she becomes so smart in her frequency that she basically turns into nothingness. It's black man. She becomes the all, which is really profound. Yes, that movie was great, Cebu Owl. Where is Zikos at? Zikos, I really respect and admire your opinion. And I really love that you are sharing your beliefs in the chat. I think it's wonderful. And I don't have to agree with people to respect them, but I appreciate you being here and supporting. I know that you've asked me several questions about my spiritual beliefs. I can never give it all to you at once. I mean, I'm a woman and I have to have a little bit of mystery. So I hope that you continue to stick around and learn more about me. Yes, she turned into black matter at the end. Why is spirituality and God not synonymous for you, Zico? So I'm very curious about that. Does God not breathe the spirit into us? Do we not have a soul and a vibration because of our infinite and divine creator? Why should we do away with our direct line to God? Mixing of entities? But entities is not the only thing in spirituality. So Zico says all this mixing of entities doesn't work. It's God, all or nothing. Well, Zico, you have to understand that certain people view entities and gods and goddesses as attributes of God. In the Quran, there are 100 attributes of God. They're all just parts of a whole. So I think that you have to look at it from not a perspective of individual entities. Well, the way that I view it, this is my personal opinion. I don't consider it to be different, separate entities. I think that it's just the different principles of God. And if you study the Kabbalah or the Tree of Life, you'll see that it's just different attributes as a map. There's only God, only one God. Are you Muslim, Zikos? If we believe in God, that is spirituality. Exactly, Sibuau. It's not religion. It can't be religion because religion is just man-made. I can't listen to a man tell me how I should worship. I mean, I think that's kind of weird. Oh, the wine. Well, the reason why I asked you, Kos, is because Muslims say that there's only one God. Because usually a lot of Christians, they kind of intermix Jesus and God, and I don't know about all that, but. So what about the Holy Spirit? Zico says, don't focus on spirits except for the interaction with God himself. Mamacita. Mamacita. Hi. RPJ, don't say that in my chat room. Because then people are going to think you're on drugs. People already are accusing you of being on drugs and being an alcoholic. You have to be very careful with your word choice. Is it good to eat red meat? I think that you really have to gauge and see, because some people don't function well when they eat red meat. Some people feel heavy. Some people feel tired and sluggish when they eat red meat, and some people don't. I don't think that there really is a such thing as good or bad. I think that there is only perception and what works for you. That's really all I can say. I've eaten meat before. Certain seasons I eat meat. I have Native American ancestry. I have Irish ancestry. Both groups of people eat meat, a lot of meat. Particularly Native Americans eat a lot of deer meat and buffalo/bison. So I naturally, from time to time, crave meat depending on the season. So it really just depends on what your energy is like and how you feel when you eat meat. And you should always definitely try to get the best meat possible. Try to go organic. When can we get married? You hear that? Yeah, that's the sound of nothing. That means there's no answer. Sorry. Any other questions, you guys? I'm like an open book right now. Yes. Yes. I was talking about Dr. Sebi earlier today. Rest in power, Dr. Sebi. He was a very powerful teacher. A lot of people followed his method of eating and living. So definitely, he's one of those people that was like almost like a messiah for a lot of people. Yes, thank you. Press like, subscribe, and share. I know I've kind of been a little all over the place. I'm getting the hang of everything. I appreciate everyone bearing with me and paying attention and staying focused and asking questions. I didn't think I was going to go on this long. It's about 9:10 p.m. But I'm glad that you all are still here with me, and I really appreciate you guys getting this knowledge today. And I hope that I can help everyone that watches this video. Yes, he was larger than life. He definitely was. I didn't really, I became more familiar with him in my later 20s. So I didn't really learn that much from him, but I am familiar with him. Being spiritual, does that keep you away from certain movies? I do not like violent movies. I don't like violent movies, and I do not like horror films because I believe that people can send spells and cast evil into your, because if you think about the TVs, I mean, first of all, plasma TV, that makes me uncomfortable. That word plasma, it makes me very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. And I just feel like when you watch certain things, we don't know what type of high science these people are using to program us. And as you can see, people emulate things that they see on television every day. So I don't really like to watch violent stuff, and I don't like to watch horror films. Oh, my teardrop is sliding. I try to stay away from that. Horror films, people getting shot and killed. I just think that the world is so desensitized to violence now, and it disgusts me and it breaks my heart a little bit, because the things that are on TV now would not have been on TV 30, 40 years ago. And it's like on public television, people getting shot in the head, blood and guts everywhere. It's disgusting. And I also don't think that people should leave their televisions on when they're sleeping. Do I prefer holding hands more or sitting side by side? I don't get that. Sitting side by side with a person. I like to sit across from a person, really, and look them in their eyes and just feel their energy coming back and forth across from me. I don't really like to hold hands unless it's someone that I really love and trust. I'm very funny about being touched. I believe that people can transfer spirits onto you by touching you. So I try to avoid people. Especially like when you're out in public, I like ducking and dodging people all the time. Like, please don't touch me. Or if you go to like a party or something and it's crowded, and then a guy like tries to touch your lower back, you're trying to touch my freaking root chakra. That's disgusting. Don't put your hands on me. Ugh. Zikos, don't make me put you in the neck. I think that I'm going to wrap my show up now, guys. I hope that everyone, you didn't miss my teardrop falling off. So that's one thing that you didn't miss. We talked about healing, ways that you can heal yourself, ways that you can cleanse yourself of negative people around you, how to protect yourself, spiritual bathing, being disciplined mentally when dealing with or not dealing with people. What else did we discuss? I mean, I have like pages and pages of notes here. We also talked about how to gauge if a person is a toxic vampire or not. How can you tell? Weighing the pros and cons of the person and seeing if they're more beneficial or detrimental to you. We talked about that. We talked about the body's frequency and how when your frequency is at a lower rate, that you can, a lower megahertz, that you can manifest disease in the body. It's literally life or death when it comes to friendships. Do you want to uplift me and make me better, and we both can raise our vibrations and just become godlike? Or Do we want to stay in the doldrums and stay talking about gossip and bullshit and speaking death into each other's life? That's really all it is. Never be with someone who makes you feel terrible. Never make someone who's verbally abusive. Oh, it didn't go anywhere. Oh, snap. It's magic. Never, what do I use in my spiritual bath for spiritual cleansing? I definitely talked about that already, but I will just quickly go over it. Spiritual baths for getting rid of toxic people: eucalyptus, spearmint, cypress, lavender, lots of sea salt, lots and lots of sea salt, lots of white candles, lots of black candles around the bath, and prayer. I also put crystals in my bath too. This one I have here on my desk is amethyst. It's a cluster. It's really good for protection. Go ahead and put that all in the camera for you hating ass motherfuckers. Get y'all up out of there. I use amethyst, quartz, clear quartz. I actually have a grid here that I'm picking from. Clear quartz is good. Quartz points. I put them directly in the bath with me, depending on what it is. But yeah, you missed the majority of it. I started a little late, but kind of missed the majority of the show. Because you really want to get into like my personal business, and I'm very curious to why you're so curious about me. Are you sure that you want to keep asking me these questions? Yeah, please go back and listen. It's definitely going to be posted after I get off of Hangouts. Let's see, did I miss anything? You also missed my song, my intro song, which was actually me. And someone had commented that they wanted me to sing Beyonce's Speechless, which is very, very interesting because I just recently sang that song to someone. But I don't know when I'm going to be on RPJ. Stop being a cyberbully and forcing me and pressuring me to do another show. I will definitely be doing more shows. I might do a show tomorrow afternoon. I usually have a lot of free time on Mondays. But I am going to sign out, you guys. And thank you for all the people that showed up today. Thank you for the ones that came late and everyone who was interactive in the chat. I really appreciate it. And this is Apache the Powerful signing out. Good night. You just love me, but just love me, baby. Just love me. You just love me. Just love me. You just love me, but just love me, baby. Just love me. You just love me. Just love me. Just love me. Just love me. Just love